What is going on, YouTube people? Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics here. Apologize for the logo screen. I wanted to actually record this one with the face cam. It was having some software difficulties, and I didn't feel like fighting it, so we're just rolling with this for this one. We'll get back to normal. So, today, I hinted at it in yesterday's video. What I want to talk about is a topic I've discussed before on the channel, but I think it's worth revisiting every 6 to 8 months. And that is, if this whole thing came tumbling down tomorrow, card values slashed 70%, 50%, whatever, how would that affect you, if at all? Obviously, you're someone that's a collector and you're not into the whole, let me buy at 1,000, sell at 1,500 type thing to try to make money, whatever, that's a different story. But if you're in this to, whether it's make a little money on the side to buy what you really want, whether that's comic books or cards or whatever, or to fund bigger purchases of better cards that you want to add to your actual PC/collection, whatever it is that you're doing, are you in a position that if this whole thing came tumbling down tomorrow, would it affect you? Would you still be able to pay your bills? Would you still be able to put food on the table, make your car payment, make your cell phone payment? This is one of those look in the mirror moments where you need to step aside and just, sit down and look and say, if this all went away, all the cards on the desk were worth half what they are today, what would happen? Would you be fine? Of course, don't get me wrong. If my entire collection went to zero tomorrow, I'd be upset about it, but it would not affect my ability to make my car payment. It would not affect my ability to provide for my family with my wife. This is not my primary mode of income. I have a regular job that I work 40 hours a week. This is, I guess, what you would classify as a side hustle. I don't know how many people that watch this do this full time. I've talked about this before. Are you, and this doesn't even just include this, are you spending, look at your spending habits on breaks. Are you one that, I don't know how many people that watch my channel get in a lot of breaks, but are you doing a lot of breaks? Is that negatively impacting you? Actually sit down. Do you ever just sit down and look at, this is the amount of money I spend on cards in a month versus the money that I earn back from cards in a month? Whether that's breaking for fun or whatever. I just feel it's good every once in a while to kind of sit down and evaluate what would happen if this all turned to dust. Because it could happen. To zero, no. But could it drop 50%? Anytime. And we won't see it coming, most likely. Or it'll be a slow bleed. Next thing you know, you look up and your collection's worth half what you thought that it was. The other piece that I'll kind of add to this is, do what makes sense for you. Just because you see myself, I don't even have that. I have nice stuff. I understand that. But I don't have I'm not rocking LeBron exquisite RPAs or whatever. Whatever it is, whatever the next levels above you are, don't feel like you need to chase that. Your collection's your collection. If you can't afford Luca Opticalo 10s, don't chase that. Go after what you can afford and don't feel bad about it either. There's always going to be someone out there with nicer stuff than you. And I know that could be a little tricky sometimes because we all see, I don't post my Ken Griffey Jr. base cards on IG from when I was a kid. I post Trae Young Mosaic Reds or Ja Morant Contenders Optic Autos. We're seeing the best of everyone's stuff on social media. Keep that in mind and don't feel like your stuff, your collection, your hobby, whatever it is that you're doing with it is worth less because you don't have that stuff. And when I'm saying worth, I'm not talking financially. It's what it means to you worth-wise. And as I always like to say, I don't think I emphasize this enough, always do your own research and homework. Whether it's myself, Sports Cards Anonymous, Steve, Roth Cards, Jeff Wilson, whoever. We're all just taking our best stabs at all this stuff. No one knows for sure. No one has a crystal ball. Otherwise, we wouldn't be doing this. We'd be playing the lottery every night or gambling. We're looking at the information that we have at hand, and we're all just trying to make our best guesses off of the information that we have and past things and things that we're seeing in the market. And each one of us is probably seeing different stuff, having different experiences. So just always make sure that you're doing your own homework and own research before you go out. Don't go buy something just because someone tells you to buy it. Take the information that I give you or whoever else that you watch and listen to, let that sink in, marinate it with other information that you're hearing from people, do your own little bit of homework, and then make a call, whether that's to buy a card, sell a card, not buy a card, not sell a card, not getting this break, getting that break, whatever it is that you're doing, really anything in life, but we'll stick with just sports cards for this one. So make sure you're doing that as well. This might be a little soapboxy slash preachy, whatever. I like to live by the use card money for cards type thing. Like I won't go into. I have different piles of money for different things. I have my real life money, if you want to call it that, the real money for the day to day. I've talked about this before plenty of times on the channel, and then I have fake money for this nonsense: cards, comics, whatever. And fake money is from card sales, and whatever money I make off the YouTube channel goes into the fake money pile. Sometimes the YouTube channel stuff gets spent on buying cards. Sometimes it gets spent on hotel rooms and overnight stays to ship Shawana or to new equipment or whatever. It's not always necessarily going back in the cards. New laptop, a portable microphone to record on the road, that sort of stuff. But regardless, that comes out of that pool of money. It does not come out of the pool of money for my day to day. The YouTube channel could shut down tomorrow, cards could go away tomorrow, and my day to day life there'd be a little hole of a bunch of extra time, but financially my day to day life would not change that much. And if you sit down and you look, and I'm not a financial advisor by any means whatsoever. I'm just speaking to someone that had credit debt problems as a youngster, which I've talked about before on the channel. Nothing crazy, but enough to give me a little wake up call when I was 20. If you sit and you look and you evaluate everything and you go, man, wait, I'm actually sit down and look at it. I don't think people realize how much they're spending on certain things until you actually sit down and tally it up for a 30, 60, 90-day period, whatever you want to do. And just look at that number and just think to yourself, are you okay if that went to zero tomorrow? If the air quote assets that you had lost 50% of their value, 75% of their value? Because who knows what could happen? We don't know. We don't know. None of us knows. None of the people that you watch on YouTube know. You don't know. No one knows. We're all just guessing. Some of us just have microphones to guess into. That's the only real difference. So that's my little challenge to you, is to sit down and say, what if this went to zero? Go nuclear option. It goes to zero. They're just pieces of plastic that you could use to shim a door or to put behind a door to keep it open, whatever. Coasters, all PSA slabs, all slabs are coasters tomorrow. Are you still able to go out and get dinner? Are you still able to go put gas in the car? But just evaluate that. That's all I ask. Just every once in a while, just take this little exercise and evaluate where you sit. Because I think sometimes people get in deeper than they realize. And next thing you know, they're looking around and the water's way over their head. And they don't really know how they got there. So once again, not a financial analyst, but just every once in a while, I kind of like to just throw this out there as a reminder that there's money to be made doing this, but ultimately it is a hobby. Ultimately, it should be fun. You should be enjoying it. If you're not enjoying it, also that too, look in the mirror. Are you enjoying this? Is this fun for you? Whether it's the collecting aspect of it, the flipping aspect of it, the community aspect of it, whatever it is, everyone's going to have different stuff. Dakota likes to collect Hall of Fame vintage football stuff. Dustin likes to collect video games. Steve likes to collect music cards. I like to collect comic books. And then, we all have sports cards of various shapes and sizes mixed in there to some degree or another. I love, my favorite aspect of it, I've talked about this before, is the action. To me, the action is the juice, to steal the quote from Heat that I use all the time. I enjoy the back and forth, the negotiation, the buying for 100, selling for 125, 150, trading into something different or better. The community aspect of it. Now, I'm lucky that I live where there's a lot of shows and a lot of not a lot of shops, but I have a couple good shops within range for when they have events and stuff to go to, but not everyone has that aspect of it. So just take 5 minutes. Just give me 5 minutes and just sit down and kind of evaluate where you are And just make sure you're comfortable with where you are. That's all I ask. And if you are, great. If you're not, then look inside and figure out what you need to do to make some adjustments, or maybe you need to sell some stuff to get, back into the green a little bit, just to kind of balance the books slightly. And everyone's different. Some people watching these videos have way more expendable income than I could probably even dream of. And I am absolutely positive there's at least someone out there that is probably overspending or putting too much money or time into this and not getting enough back out of it. So, a little self evaluation, little 5-10 minute self evaluation. That's all I asked today. That's all I got for you guys and girls today. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will catch you tomorrow. We'll be going over most likely the trade night pickups and talk about the Shipshawana show. That'll be tomorrow's video. So, catch you guys tomorrow and girls. Peace.